Hi folks, I'm Doug at Dizzy Lizzie's and this is a Hayter 48 479B lawnmower. It's one of the latest machines that's available. Customer comes in, says it's starting to lose drive, and I'll show you. Now, the rear roller on these is made up of a plastic end cap and a metal roller. And can you see that there? That is where there's a metal plate in the back which is welded, and that's where the weld is. And as they wear down, they wear the weld point off. See, there's another one there. Look, there's another one there. And we're back to that one there. And what happens is, once that plate has come disattached from the roller, it allows the end caps to go in. So you end up with, I don't know if you can see it, slop. You can see that end cap there, look, I'm wiggling it. And because it's on a piece of metal, it's not moving, it's got too much grip, not enough grip. But if it's outside, you can do that, and you can see there's play in the rear roller. And I'll just see if I can get it there. See? Can you see that? You should not be able to have, there you are, look at that. Move it from one side to another. And it's because these are worn where they weld onto it. So, got hair in my beard in here. Let's take the roller off. Right, now I've put the mower on its back, I don't have to touch any of this lot up around here at all. It's only in the work along here. So the first thing is, take the chain cover off. It's either a 10 or an 8mm. 8mm. Put that to one side. Now, the difference between the 479As and the 479B mainly is this rod here and how it attaches to the rear roller. On the A's it was a clip. Now they put a 10mm bolt on the end of the drive clutch, of the drive cog. So 10mm bolt, 10mm nut, socket, undo it. Large washer, spring washer, bolt. Just give it a wiggle, hey presto, it's off. What used to happen on these ones here, on the A's, there used to be a circlip here, and what would happen is it would wear, it would get full of muck, and this would go that way, and that would cause the chain to rub up against the bodywork. Now on the B's there's a little plastic plug there, but there's a rod that goes through that stops it from going that way. I had an A come in once, the clip was so much hassle. What I did is I pushed it that way, drilled a small hole and then put an R clip through it. So now I've got to take the rear rollers off. Okay, now let's take the rear roller off. On this, normally there's T27s, but they also use a large Phillips. So, one there, one there, and there's a metal plate that goes over the edge. That was moving. And then one there, one there. Again, the metal plate. And all we need now is a little screwdriver to pop that one off. Pop this one off. Move the axle that way. Boom. There's your roller. and a nice little ring of grass. Now, when you take your roller apart, there is the freewheel drive systems on the end. But you've got to remember though, you've got one of these washers. Occasionally these get worn through, but they're a couple of quid, so they're easy to replace. Same on this end here. You've got another disc that goes underneath there. And then you've got the freewheel mechanism in there. And what's the easiest to do is to get hold of a pair of long nose pliers, grab hold of the plastic, and that comes out. Then you can move it slightly this way so you've got a bit more gap. Line up the drive pin with one of these holes, and then you can just literally grab hold of it, and if it's not seized in or stuck out, just pull out. Now these are handed. You've got to put them in a certain way around, otherwise the free will not work. And it's the same with them. But then I'll show you when I get to assemble that. Now, that's typical. The free wheel system's falling out while I deep up that way, so I've got to find that. But now, again, I'll get hold of the drive pin, and now this comes all apart, and there are two phosphor bronze bushes which go in there, and they sometimes spin, but I will be replacing them because they're worn out, because they're slack. But, so there you are. There's another ring of grass, a rather large pile of muck that collects in between there. That'll go in the bin. So let's take these apart. Let's take these apart. Right, I've blown the muck out of these, off the ends of here where the bolts are, and all they are is an 8mm bolt. And that is all that's holding this on. It is to the metal plate that's underside. And yeah, I'll try and get it out. And there's the metal plate, and you can see there. Can you see there where it's worn down? It's taken the weld off and allows this to move in and out. What can happen is if it gets really severe, these actually spin and damage all this lot up. But these ones are okay, but there's some wear and tear on the inside of there because, hey, they love running metal onto plastic, so they'll be replaced. Okay, we've got them three there. Let's take this one off. And there we go. Again, just the 3 bolts. That's damaged inside there, and you can see now that this ring, even though it's got 4 welds on it, is only held on by 1 weld, which is that one there, and that's why you had to play, because this was able to move in and out. Right, they're now junk. Time to get the new ones. One thing I forgot to say is when I took the 2 rollers apart, there's this. It's a bronze or a spacer, and there's 2 washers either side of it. They get stuck to these, and you might forget them. So what you got to do is peel them off, which I had to do. So they fit between the rollers like that. But then I'm replacing these two, but I'll clean these up before I refit them. Right, now I've cleaned a few bits and pieces up, ready for being put together. These are the parts I'll be putting on it. This is the roller end cap, part number 1340342. These are the two bearings that go either side on this part here, 1342535. These are the drive pins that go through the edges here and connect into these. That's part number 1342035. Sorry, 1342034. These are the phosphor bronze bushes. These are the phosphor bronze bushes. They go in there, and I'll just gently tap them in a minute. And the rear roller itself, sorry, the part number for that is 340129, and the rear rollers themselves is part number 134227203. Right, now let's assemble it. Okay, first thing to do, after I've cleaned it all up underneath there, put these phosphor bronze bushes in. They just fit on the top of there, and then I get the rubber mallet and tap them down. They go in all the way so they're flush. That's part one done. Next thing, turn them over. Wipe any bits of muck off. Now these holes aren't threaded. You do that when you put the bolts in. So what I do is I just put a little bit of copper slip on them. So it'll stop them from seizing, because some muck draft getting on these. Right, then just line up the tops so you can see the hole underneath. Grab your 3 bolts, 8mm head. It's these ones, specially designed to block in there. These ones that go on the ends here. There's 3 there. And the other 3 here. Right. And this is going to be a little bit noisy. And that is the 2 rollers assembled. Next thing is the shaft. Now I've rubbed up and down to clean a load of the muck off, but what you've got to do is where this square is, you've got these pins, and this is the freewheeling system that drives them. You've got to make sure that they can slide in and out without any obstruction, and so basically they move freely. Right. Now if they do get burred over, you can put a little square file down through the holes to just take off those burrs, which means those pins can move in and out freely. Right, now I cleaned up this, and that goes over there. It's not a tight fit, it just slops around. Then I've got this washer, which I've cleaned up, and I've put this washer here, which I've cleaned up as well. Next thing, now when assembling these, it's easier if it's the same way it come off the lawnmower. So the drive side's this side, and the drive side's this side, and the freewheel side is this side, because it makes it easier. Remember, the roller goes this way. It rotates this way to push the mower along, because that is also handy to remember when you install them. So now that slides into there, with a little twist in, and it comes out that side. And again, just put it in there, give it a twist, push it down that way, then you can tap it so it goes down. And that's the initial roller fitted together. Next is these, and I'm going to change the position of the camera for that. Okay, now this is the end of the roller, and this is your freewheeling device. You can see that there's a flat section and a curved section, and what it is, as this the drive is put into it, and the drive, remember, goes this way around, the roll pin or drive pin gets driven along and engages with that. Now if you look at the top of it, it's slanted, and you've got to make sure that the direction it's travelling in is the highest side. That way it allows it to slide around and has the most section to contact the edge of this. Now for ease of fitment, I've put it on its side, and you find a big slot like that, and I've put some copper slip in it, and I also cleaned it out, and now that slides into there. Pardon me, move it backwards and forwards. Take a bit of copper slip off of this side and, pardon me, stick it there. Now, how do I know which way it goes around? Well, there's actually markings on these, L and R. And what you do, for the left side of the mower, which is the non-driven side, you put R on the outside. And then you literally push it in. Sorry, a little tappy mallet needed. And that's that done. Now I'll show you, hang on, let's zoom in a bit, and you can see this in action better. When I turn this end here, can you see that that pin now wants to drive the roller this way? But when you push the mower, this is what happens. Can you see that roll pin? And this side here gets pushed out. Oh, there, see how it moans? That's when you're pushing the mower along down the road. But when you engage the drive, this is what happens. And that hits that and pushes the roller around. So, the thing that goes on top of that is that side there, and that's this side done. Now I'll do the same to the other side, which is exactly the same. Right, I've given this a quick wipe over, rubbed all the grass and muck off it, but for as a final check, you can grab hold of the roller and it will roll that way. You turn the spindle that way, it will then freely move. But once you grab hold of that and turn it this way, both rollers move. Right, now you push this end, through there, this end through there, and that's the roller in situation. I then, because it's a great idea, a plastic bearing on a heavy machine on a piece of metal, put a bit of copper slip in there. Now I didn't show you the wear that was on the other bushes, but there was slack on these because the machine's so heavy. And why do they put plastic bearings on a machine like this? Considering I've got a Hayter 41 in, which weighs a lot less, and you've got phosphor bronze bushes in there. Anyway, I don't know. Anyway, I also put these are the 2 screws here where it goes into. I put some copper slip onto them, and all it is just lift it up, slot it in, put your hand on the other side to stop it from popping out, and give it a bang. You then tap that around until the screws line up. Give them a few turns first so you don't cross thread them. To start up, and then do that. Actually, I've just realised I forgot this. That fits over the top of there. Then this, you then put the 2 screws in. And that's that end done, securing the rear roller. I shall now take you round to this side. And I'll do the same. Remember, put this plate on over there. Put your screws in, a couple of threads so they don't get cross threaded. Then and that's the rear roller in situation. See, there's no donk donk donk, and there is no side to side movement that is excessive. Alright, I'm not used to this. Right, the next thing to do is on here. You've got the cog. Now all this is a chain. Fit it up and over the top, and then he just lines up with the rear roll. And if you want to get it lined up, just turn the roller that way, and you can see the shaft moving, and then it'll line up. Okay, the chain's a bit slack, but it's not totally gone, so it's still serviceable. Next thing, washer, large washer, spring washer, 10mm bolt, copper slip. Again, a couple of threads to get it going. That's that. Now, some people use different types of greases. I use a Rockwool chain lube because, well, it's been a while since I've been on bikes, but I use this. And you see, you just grab hold of that and that's your chain lube. Also, one of the things they upgraded on these machines, I forgot to mention, is they put a metal cover on the bottom of these. Because if you're a professional guy, or person, or gardener, they were wearing holes in these because grass was literally rubbing against them because they were doing that much mileage with it. Because, hey, it is a professional machine. It's not supposed to be just doing up and down every other week or every week. In a lawn, it spends hours working. Right. that's the 10mm bolt on the drive cover done. So now I'll lift it up. I put a piece of timber under the back of it to help support it off, so the rear roller doesn't touch the ground, so it's easy to get out. But basically that's the job done. Next thing I'll go do is test it. Let's give it a try out. Both the rollers are going in the right direction, so another successful job. So there you are, folks. That's how to change the rear rollers on a Hayter 48479A and B, but also on the 56 series. The 41s are a solid rear roller, so you don't need to do that. Anyway, if you liked it, hit the subscribe and like button. It's free and I'd appreciate it. Take care, folks, and see you next video. Bye.